People always rant on about how literature and books are sort of falling behind and people are ceasing to read and also have and carry certain skills that can set us ahead in life, or maybe it's culture or certain different things in media or just art as a whole that people lose an appetite for. But what about film? What about movies? And no, I don't just mean movies as a general concept. I mean, what is happening with movies? Why aren't people watching slow cinema or the good old movies that, maybe are the old Hollywood movies in the 40s and 50s that America was sort of like built on, or foreign films? I call it slow cinema, like the actual good movies that people should be watching. And you're probably thinking, why the fuck would I need to watch slow movies? They're boring and they're fucking stupid. And when I watch a movie, I want to watch like Avengers and because I'm kind of I call it like being horny for action. I want to see fucking fights and people dying and screaming and stuff. Which is fair. Everybody wants to see that. But I think that that's kind of the problem. And it sort of is the same thing with books. Like, when people are reading a lot more modern books, which is fine. People just need to read in general. But I think that people should actually watch slow cinema, the classics, and foreign films. Maybe watch a film that's in a different language every once in a while. You would never think of that, would you? Or if you're watching this video, you probably already do, and you're just going more into your confirmation bias, because the people who actually need to watch this video probably will never click on it. But that's like another discussion of another problem for another time. But so basically, I'm going to go over why you actually should watch these and why it's important, my journey with watching them and how it changed me, and some sort of tactics or strategies you can do to actually help you, because it is very hard to focus in this attention-demanding economy. So we need some strategies and tips to override that whole notion of being distracted all the time. So, first of all, why should you watch slow cinema? And the reason you should watch it is because all of the movies and all of like the art and all of those things, just all of the entire concept of stories as a whole have rooted from like the classics and these older movies. And if you want to go even further into the theory of like film and all the stuff like that, they actually rooted from the Greek tragedies and the whole idea of the hero's journey. But that doesn't really matter for the sake of this video. It's the point that all of these sort of like monumental achievements in visual media have definitely been propagated by earlier cinema, and I feel like you at least deserve to give them a chance or understand them, because there are voices and images from people's minds that have really defined American culture, especially in the earlier American films, because like earlier American films and cinema were largely responsible for defining that culture and that time during the wars and all of those other things. I don't know what you're thinking. I don't give a shit about that. That doesn't do anything for me. And while that is largely true, you're also going to be missing out on a lot of things that can actually change your viewpoints and really expand your mind to different things. And a lot of times when people think of film as a medium, they think of Hollywood and they think of America. And that's why you should try to explore foreign films. Because why would you be limited to just one culture's media? There's so many good movies from Russia and Germany, and I don't know, probably even like Slovakia, from any country. There's Polish films that are phenomenal. There's all of these films that could be your favorite or could change your life. Like, art is supposed to make you more open-minded. You're supposed to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and see things from a different a different get different insights and see different types of people, whether it's the different cultures, the clothes they wear, the ideas that have been shaped from external circumstances, from poverty, from war, etc. A lot of these movies all have to do with war because it pertains to the culture at that time, and it will give you a good glimpse of history and events that have happened during that time in those other countries and cultures and things like that. And they will really start to expand your mind on how you think about the world. And they'll just give you like a little sprinkle of a different worldview that will be additive to the one at the given time or the given period that you're in. But mostly also, I think it will vastly help with your focus because, like I said, focus is a skill, and it's one of the things that is falling behind for us, and that's not a bad thing. I can't blame you for that. This happens to me all the time. I have a lot of projects that I have to work on, and that requires deliberate focus. Yet I don't always have it because I'm surrounded by social media, by gambling ads, by, there's substances, there's drugs and alcohol, there's like sugar and anything. Anytime you go to a gas station, there's bright colors everywhere with chip bags and all this shit. And it's so hard to focus. When I watch a movie, it might be the hardest ever that I have to actually like lock in and focus. And yeah, it's on a movie, something that's considered something that's supposed to be like fun, where you lay back and stuff. But even in a movie, I think you should have to kind of study and really push yourself, right? You shouldn't always watch something that's just for pure entertainment or fun. It should be like almost kind of like an assignment that you have to understand something and really push hard to understand something. Some of the greatest films I've watched have been really boring at first, and I really struggled to watch them, and then 30, 40, 50 minutes through, I couldn't stop watching it. Not even because there was relentless action, but because the story, the character dynamics, and the philosophical insights and the meditativeness that it gave me, and the feeling and the abstractions. Some of them are just so weird and strange, and I'm almost like having this LSD type experience in this movie because it's transported me into a different world. Like all of these, you're not going to get this from Avengers fucking 7 or Power Rangers 93. I know those aren't actual movies, that was a joke, but like seriously, or Fast and Furious 11, which I think there actually might be 11 movies. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But like, do you really want to watch that? Do you constantly want your attention to be compromised by these like larger companies? Watch an indie film that was made by a creator who actually poured their heart and soul into something and cares about it and wants to change your life, not somebody who's desperately reaching for your attention and trying to like capture your attention to scrounge out all the cents and money it can make, which is so weird because like really, you want to try to make money in the film industry? I feel like almost every big budget film flops nowadays. So why are we even trying that? Like the industry for indie creators is sort of blooming right now. So I think we should really respect the slower films that are trying to open our mind and change our experiences and transport us into a world that we don't experience in the average day to day. Now, how do we actually do this? How do we get ourselves to focus on a movie? And it all kind of comes down to discipline and your mindset around it. You have to actually go into this with an open mind and be understanding towards it that this could be weird or very different from how you typically think of things. It's not going to be your average movie. It's going to be very probably appalling, maybe disturbing, and hard to watch, difficult to sit through, incredibly boring. But you have to go into it with a mindset that you can push through that. And that's just something that happens along the way. And that's okay. That can happen. You can be bored in a movie. That's something that's completely fine. So kind of get rid of the mantra that you have to be entertained the whole way through. There has to be a discipline aspect, and you have to be willing to overcome these obstacles of boredom and really immerse yourself into it, not just with like the entertaining aspect and just be action oriented all the time and constantly be on the edge of your seat wanting more slop. And yeah, that's all I have. It wasn't like a deep dive into philosophy and like the analytical manner of how it is, because honestly, watching slow cinema, it's not gonna reap you like financial or immediate rewards like you see in every other way of life. But I promise you, it will have compound effects that you can't sense immediately, that you can't really understand, but deep down will actually help you in some way. I promise you, this will help you. And I think that film is a superior form of art. I don't hear anyone else say this. I think that film is the best. It combines all of the different sensory things. It's all of your sense. It's every art form combined into one. It's theater, acting, writing. So it's like a sound, music. It's like a book, song, theater, pictures, drawing, like cinematography, so videography, all of the different types of art made into one. And that's why it's so beautiful. And you really can't miss out on the greatest masterpieces of film, or you're just going to be removing all of these beautiful experiences that can change your mind and your worldviews. I keep saying the same words over and over again. I'm sorry, but I don't know what else to say. Basically, what I'm saying is watch older cinema, watch slower films, watch foreign films, because they will change your life and they will make you better. That I promise.